Hello and welcome back to my channel, MCC Designs. My name is Marissa and today I'm going to be bringing you a massive yarn haul from Wool Warehouse. This was my last yarn haul of the 2023 year and I'll be going over everything that I picked up and all of my stash goals for the new year and my plans to use this yarn and also to use my stash this year, more so than just continuously getting acquisitions without using as much yarn as I would like to. So to get started, I purchased a large quantity of yarn from Wool Warehouse at the end of the year because they were doing an alpaca sale, and I believe the sale was about 30% off of all of their alpaca based yarns, and also there was an additional 10% off coupon on top of that. And I've been looking at a couple of their lines since my last purchase from them, just to wanting to try them out. I was really impressed with my first order from Wool Warehouse and I wanted to give it another shot. Also, this is not sponsored at all. Wool Warehouse does not know that I exist. I just have really liked everything that I've gotten from there before. I think the value is great for what you get from them and the shipping is not as crazy as you would expect from it being a European based company that ships from the UK. So without further ado, I will start with some of the wool yarns that I got. I got a mixture of wool, alpaca, and even some cotton for some summer projects that I want to go ahead and get started on within the next couple of months to kind of give myself a head start for the coming warmer season, because it's definitely warmer than cooler here where I am in North Carolina. So let's get into that. So first off are some yarns that I want to make some hats of, and I will not be showing the full quantity just because a couple of these I have sweaters quantities of and I just can't hold all of them, but I will be showing all the colors. So this is the first yarn that I got, and it is the Alaska line. I got it in 3 different colors, and the specs on this yarn are, let's see here, it is a DK weight yarn and it's 50 grams, 77 yards, and 100% non-superwash wool. So pretty small little mini skeins here, but I really love these colors together and I want to do more color work hats. So I got 2 of each of these to kind of play around with the colors and do some different patterns within hats. I think that'll be really cool to see that come together, and it's 100% wool superwash, which is really nice. And yeah, so that is the first set that I got to try the Alaska line. It's a pretty soft wool, 100% wool. It does have that wool scratchiness to it, but I personally like a wool scratchiness. I don't mind it against my skin, so I'm glad to have these now. Some other ones, I kind of just got a few single skeins of things just to try them out and see before committing to like bigger projects with them. And one of those lines is the Drops Nord. So I got this really beautiful grassy green color and a cream to hold with it. I think with these I want to do some sort of color work socks, just not double stranded, but just 2 colors. And for these, they are a sock weight yarn. It is 30% polyamide, 25% wool, 45% alpaca. So these were definitely included in that sale. They're very soft. I really like them. I think they'll be great for socks since they have that like extra bit of strength in them. And you get, I don't know if I said this, it's 50 grams and you get 186 yards per ball. And I just love these colors. Which the colors are not shown on the labels, but this is color 1 and this is color 10. But really pretty, really vibrant. I'm excited to see how those work up. And honestly, I want to swatch all of these projects that I want to make like right now, so I might even do that. And this next one, I only got a single color and skein of because I wasn't sure if I would like this one. And it is the Nepal line. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but this is a DK weight as well, 65% non-superwash wool, 35% alpaca, and there's 82 yards per 50 gram ball of it. I really like this color. It's almost like a sage green. It's really fun. This color is what it says, 8918 perhaps. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and I'll put it on the screen, the actual color names of everything. But, and I've got my hair in it already. But this is super, super soft as well. I find that some alpaca yarns to me are a little more scratchy than wool yarns, but this one is really, really soft. And I think is the softest one that I have found so far. So next up I have some sweaters quantities. I have a couple sweaters that I want to make, and I have an intent to make these particular sweaters. I don't know if I'll actually end up making these or deciding on something else in the future when I get around to the project. But to start with, I want to make another colorwork sweater, and these are the colors that I would like to include. So I have a pair of store-bought socks, which I should have just brought to show, but I do not know where they are at the moment. And they have all of these colors work together, with the main color being black. And I have absolutely loved these socks since I purchased them, and I've been thinking about doing a full colorwork sweater in a similar colors palette, and also just the look of it I really, really love. So I found this yarn, which is Karisma. Let's see. Karisma by Drops. And they are so pretty. It is like a woolly wool as well. Let's see. It's 100% non-superwash wool, 50 grams, 109 yards per ball, recommended gauge with 4mm needles. And this is color 81, this pink, which is really pretty. And the main color for this is going to be black, so I've got more skeins of the black, and I'll just go through all those colors. So the black one is color 5. And the orange, let's see, 11 is this like pumpkin-y orange. Then we have 44 for the gray. The white is 19, which I think this is more of like an off-white creamy color. The gold color is 52. This darker blue is 30. The lighter blue, 68. So these are all the colors that I'm going to use for my next colorwork sweater. And I'm really excited to have so many colors in one project, because I think that's going very much out of my comfort zone of using kind of like very similar colors. And these do go well together, I think, but it is a lot more of an eclectic color palette, I guess you could say, from what I'm used to making. So that is my first sweaters quantity of this haul, and I'm really excited about that. And I'll pop a picture up of like the idea of kind of the colorwork style that I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a knit or crochet sweater yet, so I might put multiple options. I have my Ravelry like favorites in my library, like full of different colorwork patterns, so there's definitely plenty to choose from out there that are really beautiful. But yeah, that is my first sweater. And going to my next one, I am really excited about this one, and it is going to be in a color that I don't usually work with, but I've been really drawn to like spring, like pastel almost colors recently. I did one of those color tests and it told me that spring is my color palette, which is kind of crazy because I almost exclusively wear like autumn colors, autumnals and things like that, like very rich dark colors. So this is the color. It's like a light, I don't know, would you call that periwinkle, lavender, something? But I'm planning to hold both of these together. They are the same color. And the thicker DK weight is Daisy, Drops Daisy, and this is non-superwash, and it is so soft. Let me see. It is 100% extra fine merino wool, non-superwash, 100% wool. It is a 50-gram ball and 120 yards per ball, and it is beautiful. I love it. This is color number 7. So pretty. I'm really excited to make a sweater with this. I think it will look really good. I'm really excited for it. And I don't have anything similar to this color in my wardrobe already, so I'm really branching out. And then the sari that I'm going to be holding with it is the same color as I mentioned. Let's see, it's brushed alpaca silk, and it's very soft. I think it's a lot softer than a lot of mohairs out there, and I think it feels closer to like a Surrey like lace weight that kind of float around with like hand-dyed yarns and things. Let's see. And I don't think I've mentioned any of the prices for anything, but they were all very low priced per ball, and I will put the prices and the names of all the colors down on the screen or above on the screen somewhere so that you can see kind of the affordability of all these like very quality yarns that I really have enjoyed working with so far, the ones that I have worked with. But yeah, so continuing, this is the brushed alpaca silk in, where's the color? Color 34, and it is 77% alpaca, 23% silk, 25 gram ball, and 153 yards. So I did get enough. I think I got more than enough to make a sweater out of this for myself, and I'm really excited about it. So I will pop a picture up of what I think I'm gonna make with it. I think it's called the Dear Duomo sweater. I'm not 100% sure, but the sweater that I want to make, Nick California has made a few of them, and I love how they look, and I just really like all the sweaters that she makes really, but these have really stuck out, and so I'm excited to make that with this. And I'll probably try and swatch either today or in the next couple of days, because I'm just really excited to see how it's gonna look together, and maybe get a finished sweater before it gets warm again. Okay, so next up is another sweater's worth of a sock weight yarn. So this is Flora by Drops, and it is 65% wool, 35% alpaca. They're 50 gram balls and 230 yards per ball, and it's in this very nice light bluish, purplish. I feel like it leans purple in some lights. Definitely when you hold it next to purple, it's very, very blue. But holding it next to, I guess, like a white, it leans a little purpler. This isn't really white, but yeah, I think it kind of changes depending what it's near. And I also think this is one of those lighter colors that is going to be in that spring palette that I'm trying to transition into. And I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, this is color 14 of Flora. And this one does have a little bit of that scratch to it that a wool you would expect, but it is still very nice and very soft, but it is more rustic feeling than the Daisy. The Daisy is by far the softest of everything, so yeah, just keep that in mind if you are more sensitive to wools and alpacas. So Flora, I am not 100% sure what sweater I'm gonna make with this one. I really like the look of just stockinette sweaters, very simple, throw it on, or some sort of simple all over stitch pattern that'll just look really nice and let the yarn shine, so I think I might do that. But I also might have enough to do cables, but I've never done cables, and I feel like sock weight cables seems like a major to do, so I don't know about this one, but definitely a sweater of some sort because I love the color. So that is more of like a maybe, love the color, but definitely going to be made into a sweater. And then the next one is more Flora, but it is in this light gray color. This is color number 3, and again, that is 65% wool, 35% alpaca, and this color is really nice. I got this to pair with some of the brushed alpaca silk that I ordered in my last order. It is the same color, so it'll do that nice, like, you know, double color fuzzy sweater that we all know and love. And I think with this one I am going to do some sort of crochet cardigan, just to have, you know, that neutral light color to throw on and be able to use it even in, well, I don't know if this is gonna happen, even in the summer, just something light and airy. But it is a lot of warm fiber, so I don't know if that is really gonna be a thing. But yes, some sort of cardigan sweater, and I really love this color as a neutral, and I don't think it'll wash me out too much, the gray, but we'll see on that one. So I really like that as well. And I forgot one of the singletons, so I wanted to try this baby merino. And again, it's in that like purpley blue color that I'm like really leaning into with this order, and this is color 25. It is a superwash treated extra fine merino wool. It is 100% wool and 50 grams, 191 yards. And it is very, very soft. It is the only superwash that I got from them, and it's very, very soft, very nice. And I like the twist on it. If you can see that, it has a really high twist, which always makes texture look really, really good in my opinion. So I got 2 little things of that, and I think I'm gonna make a Sophie shawl with it, just like, or not a Sophie shawl. The one, like the neck scarf, I don't know. I don't know what that one is called, but I think that'll look really cute in this and have that like pop of color, any like neutral outfit. So that is the last singleton. And that is all the alpaca and wool based yarns that I purchased. And I'm really excited to make all the sweaters with it. I feel like the quality of the yarn is very impressive, and I'm very excited to continue working with all of them. And I love working with wools and alpacas and those like natural fibers. So I'm excited for those. And next up, I have my summer yarns. So they have a 100% cotton line, and it is called Saffron. Let me see. And it is called Saffron. And I got a ton of different colors with the intent to make some summer garments. And I saw this yarn on Instagram. I always like look on the Instagram hashtags to see other people photographing the yarn to see like more of the texture, because I feel like on the website they don't always give like a clear kind of depiction of like what it really looks like. But I saw this, and if you can see, it looks very smooth and like very soft cotton. And I've worked with cotton a lot since I'm a primary crocheter. I feel like it's easier to crochet with cotton than to knit, just in my experience. So by the looks of this yarn online, on Instagram especially, it looked like it was going to be a perfect lightweight garment cotton, and it definitely is. It has like a smoothness to it, but also like a kind of a sturdiness that I think is going to wear and wash really nicely. So I got a ton of colors in it because they're super pretty, and I'm keeping them in this little basket. And honestly, now that I'm seeing them displayed all together like this, I almost want to make a blanket, like a granny square blanket, instead of the garments that I had planned. But I don't know if that's a good idea or not. But these are all the colors that I got. All summery colors, all very vibrant. Really, really love the color options that they had. They had like over 100. I don't know if that's actually true, but it felt like so many. So a couple of these I have only one of, because I want to do some mild color work, like shirts and tank tops and things, and I'll post some pictures of them up here, of the ideas that I have. And some of them I want to do like my own designs for. And this color, wait, I got 2 that are very close, like this pinkish. Okay, so I have been wanting to crochet a dress for years now. A couple, I think last year, the year before, this really beautiful dress came out from one of my favorite crochet designers. I'll pop a picture of it. And I absolutely have loved it this whole time, but I have never like kind of found a yarn that I really like enough to make into a dress that I thought was gonna hold up and just be really nice. And this is the yarn that I'm gonna go with. So this is the Drops Saffron in the color 57. It's like a dusty pinkish purple color. And the specs on it, it's 100% cotton. It is 50 grams, 175 yards. So I got a dress quantity in this color. And so I am going to crochet a dress this year, and I'm super, super excited to do it. And I know it's going to be a labor of love, especially since this is going to be a sock weight crochet project, but it's going to be worth it, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to make a dress with this, and shirts and tank tops with all of these. I really love the like bright oranges and yellows and the periwinkle blues and purples. I'm super excited for summer makes. I'm going to probably start them around March, I think. Maybe swatch for them now and see what happens. But I am very excited to use all of this yarn that I got in this very, very large haul. And that is a good, transition into discussing my stash goals for the year, for the new year. And recently, within the past couple of months, I've been cataloging my entire yarn stash. So just writing down the brand, the color, how much quantity I have, yards, grams, all that good stuff. And I have decided that for January, I'm doing, the classic no buy January in all aspects of my life, not just for yarn. That's gone well so far. We're not quite halfway through, so who knows what's gonna happen, but I am definitely sticking with that, especially after this massive haul from a warehouse in December. I want to really take a step back and make sure that I'm using everything accordingly, because of course, just having the yarn on my shelf isn't going to be making it into projects on its own, So, and part of the fun for me is acquiring new yarn and also using it. So I consider them kind of two separate hobbies. And I think a lot of us do the same thing. So I really enjoy having a large yarn stash on hand that I can shop from if I want to. And I have these sweaters quantities that I know that I'll make sweaters of, maybe not tomorrow, but in a couple months, in a couple weeks. One of my big goals is to decrease the size of my stash. I am graduating soon, and I'm not really sure what happens next for me, if I'm going to be moving cities, moving apartments, moving states. I really have no idea for whatever future job I am able to acquire. So definitely being more conscious of my stash and working it down to make it easier to move if that is something that is in the near future or within the next year. So what I'm doing after my no buy January is I will be using 5 skeins for every 1 skein that I bring in. I've done this before and it has worked very well until I kind of just, stopped for whatever reason. But it will be more of a strict, not a no buy, because I don't think that's going to work for me, because like I said, I want to keep trying new yarns and being able to share them with all of you. But yes, for every 5 skeins of yarn that I use up, I am allowed to acquire 1 new one. And I think this is going to be a way to help decrease my stash, encourage me to finish my projects, to be able to do that next thing that is like most exciting and most new on social media, on Instagram, on Ravelry, the new pattern, the new yarns that come out, all that good stuff. So I'm still able to experience those, but in a much more controlled manner. Especially shopping for hand-dyed yarn, I feel like a frenzy kind of occurs where it's like, this is super unique, it's only open and available for a short time, so you have to get it now. So kind of taking a step back from that and being like, okay, but what am I gonna do with this? Do I have room for it? And that kind of thing. So just being more mindful of that. And I love shopping for yarn, I really do, obviously. I mean, you just saw all that. So I will not be stopping acquiring yarn this year. I will just be doing it a lot slower, unless I, for some reason, crank out tons and tons of projects and I'm able to get just as much as I have been in the past. Who knows what's going to happen. If you have any stash down goals, definitely let me know what those are, because I feel like it's very common for us to be making these at this time of the year. And yeah, so statistically speaking, I should be acquiring way less than I'm using this year, but we shall see. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked seeing all of the different yarn lines from Wool Warehouse and the Drops line. And I hope you continue to follow along with me as I use these projects in my bi-weekly podcast episodes and what I share on Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube Shorts, and on TikTok. And you can find me there at MCC Designs. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night whenever you are watching, and I will see you next time.